Hi, dear friends. Welcome back to Aksharadare. I am Devraj. I hope you guys are following the tips which I have given in the previous video, and I hope you guys are learning it and earning it. Yes, from the last 4 5 days, I have not updated any videos related to the newspaper reading. So, due to some time constraint, I really excuse. I really excuse you with you guys. So let's start reading the newspaper. Today's newspaper reading. I would before going to start the newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share with your friends. It may be useful for somebody is to utilize the opportunities from the Akshadari team and Akshadari. So anyway, let's start reading the newspaper. The Hindu, which is very important for the point of examination and also for the competitive exams, especially for the UPSC, KPSC, and central and state exams. Let's start. The free admission to all SC students in PU degree and engineering colleges. Department of Social Welfare is committed to provide financial support to all eligible scheduled caste students through post-matric scholarship scheme. So, guys, if anybody belongs to this category, they can check into the information and go through to avail the benefits from the government. Getting your income Deepavali ready. I use simple vases, fairy lights, and flowers to give a minimalist at budget friendly makeover to your editor. Says Teja Leela. Live in the hot tub convenience. Let's go to next page. This is the front page. Panel asked which hotels has stayed. Maua. Delhi's air quality plummets. Services sector it's a bump in October. When blast shock prayer all in Kerala. A confession arrest and hate mongering. Nabi and Cook set up a big win over Netherlands. A difficulty to press for women's quota before LS4. ED probing payment of fine at head crore to Bagil. CCB seizes firecrackers worth 40 lakh. JICA wires 888 houses under surveillance. Rajyotsava from organized classes to teaching France, Kannada spreads its wings. Our goal is to familiarize the migrant population with Kannada. We provide audio files and notes, and members are encouraged to reach out in case of any doubts, says the founder of Kannada Gottila. We are ready to create an atmosphere of Kannada. City's air quality was better in October 2023 compared to last year. Purple Line metro services to be affected from tomorrow. Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences. JICA 888 houses in 5 villages of containment zone in Chikaballapur under surveillance. Serum samples of 30 pregnant women sent for test. Health department submits report and the surveillance measures undertaken. City also under the grip of other viral ailment. SWR official are sentenced to 4 years imprisonment. Say special SCBI court Hindi city sentenced C. Shivana there then senior divisional personal official. Southwestern Railway Bangalore to 4 years a simple imprisonment with a 5 lakh. The court has also sentenced his wife Orin Manjula and M. Narayan Swamy, partner of Mr. Aditya Builders Private Limited, to 1 year imprisonment with a fine of 1 lakh each. CBI has registered a case against the accused on the allegations of that Mr. Shivana, while working as a public servant in Southwestern Railway during the 2005 to 14, had abused his official position and amazed mobile and immobile assist in the name of his wife to the tune of 158 crore. Too bad. BSWML registers for EPR, move MA, patch good revenue. Bangalore Solid Waste Management Limited has registered for extended for users responsibility with the CPCB, under which it can impose fees on companies for processing plastic and e-waste. 105 ULBs have registered for EPR. ATV celebrates Silver Jubilee Fire arrested over techies death. Man seen groping in mall gets bail. Lorry driver arrested. 12 kg ganja recovered. US based foundation to support setting up of Center for Computational Oncology at IISc. High Command will decide on CM's post. Ministers. DKS declines to comment on Siddaramaya's remark that he will continue as Chief Minister for the full term. Priyanka terms Siddaramaya's comments as his personal opinion. I see one thing you report is it differently. See, state's education policy will be based on data and not assumptions. Thorat. Special stray vacancy round for medical and dental seats from November 7. New age tech essential to curb volatility of tomato price. CLAT application deadline extended till November 10th. KRRSS roundtable on coconut agri industry today. Kaveri Authority ratifies CWRC's decision on release of water to Tamil Nadu. The Kaveri Water Regulation Committee had asked Karnataka to release 2,600 cusecs to Tamil Nadu till November 23. Tamil Nadu had sought the release of 13,000 cusecs, factoring in the backlog. A sub-registrar has no power to cancel registered document through cancellation deed. Karnataka HC, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Kottayam. A narrative of Roti, Kapada, or Makhan under the NDA. Let's read this editorial page written by the doctoral candidate. A narrative of Roti, Kapada, or Makhan under the NDA. Masterpiece for film Roti Kapada Haur Makhan, translated as Food, Cloth and Shelter, produced and directed by Manoj Kumar in 1974, depicted the severe deprivation and the devastation of a man for whom living honestly became a will o' the wisp. And deprivation sometimes exhausts an exorbitant price that is born over a lifetime. Undernourished children, for example, are more likely to be stunted. Stunting has long term effects on individuals, including poor cognition and educational performance, low adult wages, lost productivity, and when accompanied by excessive weight gain later in childhood. Higher risk of nutrition related chronic diseases in adult life. The World Health Organization 2015. The objective in this article, therefore, is to examine whether some of these deprivations, especially a lack of food and shelter, roles are diminished during the National Democratic Alliance regime. As Nobel laureate Ahmad Sen emphasized in his classic study of famines, starvation is caused not so much by a shortage of food supply as by a lack of entitlement to real income to buy food. Similarly, a lack of shelter is not due to an inadequate supply of houses but stems from a lack of real income to rent or buy a home house. The Gallup World Poll Survey for India GWP focuses on a lack of money to buy food and rent or buy a house. The period covered in our study is 2019-2021. Exaggerated claims versus a deprivation. As India aspires to be the fastest growing economy among the seven largest emerging market and developing economies, tall claims are made about growing affluence and, more worryingly, about an astonishing reduction in the multidimensional poverty index of 9 percentage points between 2015 to 2019-21. In sharp contrast to these exaggerated claims, we draw attention to pervasive and growing deprivation of access to food and shelter. About 40.2% of respondents reported not having enough money for food, while 34.7% of respondents reported not having enough money for shelter in 2018. The former rose to 48% and the latter to 44.3% in 2021. It may seem obvious, but raises a concern that the highest proportion of those without enough money to buy food is among the post per capita income quintile, the poorest and lowest among the fifth quintile are the richest throughout the period. To illustrate while nearly 22% of the poorest lacked enough money to buy food, barely 14% of the richest experienced this deprivation in 2021. A similar picture emerges of the lack of money for shelters. The highest proportion of those lacking money for shelter is found among the poorest and the lowest among the richest during the period of 2018 to 21. To illustrate how 20% of those who lacked money for shelter were among the poorest, while the corresponding share among the richest was over 15% in 2021. Although income growth has been sluggish, it has barely trickled down to the poorest. The extraordinary push to highly visible infrastructural projects such as bullet trains, international airports, highways, and the consequent neglect of agriculture and micro, small and medium enterprises, and the weakening of social safety nets are key contributory factors. The case factor that the recent brouhaha about a caste census and in particular deprivation of other backward classes is not mere political propaganda in the run up to state and national elections in 2023-24, but entrenched in persistent economic and social deprivation is corroborated by our analysis. Using the GWP caste classification, we find that among those lacking money for food, the highest proportion was above OBCs. 34.2% in 2018, followed by scheduled caste or SCs 32.3%, and then run is unreserved 23.6%. Scheduled tribes have the lowest share has a large segment in confined to remote forests and mountainous habitations and consume local foods. Between 2018 and 2021, the OBC share declined 31.5%, but remains highest, followed by SCs also witnessing a reduction 29.9%, while that of unreserved rose sharply 30.8%. While political lobbies played a role in diminishing the deprivation of OBCs and SCs, the unreserved largely fended for themselves. Deprivation of shelter is not as dissimilar, while the SCs displayed the highest share of those lacking money for shelter 32.5% in 2018, closely followed by OBCs 31.6%, and at the lowest unreserved 23.59%, excluding STs. The share of the SCs fell, but that of OBCs rose slightly. Further, for unreserved surged. Perhaps the lobbyists paid greater attention to deprivation of food among OBCs and less so to their deprivation of shelter. Among those lacking money for food and shelter, are the highest share, about 50% or more in the both cases. Was among those between 25 to 45 years old in 2021. We surmise that low wages or salaries constrain expenditure on food and shelter. The rural urban contrast among those lacking money for food. A vast majority is concentrated in the rural areas, that is, well over 80%, with a low fraction in the urban under 20%. While the rural share has fallen, the urban has risen. The urban, in fact, has doubled. A similar rural urban contrast is observed in the deprivation of shelter. A vast majority of those lacking money for shelter are in rural areas, and this share reduced while the corresponding urban share rose. After COVID 19, it is not unlikely that resumption of rural urban migration in search of better employment and growth of slums is key to greater urban deprivations. Stock failure in promoting industrial and agricultural growth and in employment was thought to be mitigated by half-hearted and weak support for the public distribution system. And surprisingly, it does not have a significant effect on access to food. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, on the other hand, reduced by a significant extent the deprivation of shelter, but the economic magnitude was small. Trust in the NDA remained high, driven as it was by Hindutva excess centralization and a massive personality cult. In fact, going by our analysis, extremely high trust in the NDA has aggravated the deprivations of food and shelter. Reversal to protectionist policies, announcement of job phase or Rojgar Mela with perverse incentives for the labor market. For example, discouraging jobs at a politically determined location of mega projects and granting of lucrative contracts to a few loyal investors are major policy aberrations. Together with consequent neglect of the employment generating activities and the weakening of social safety nets, stock regularities in their funding may well be disastrous for the polity and the economy. Action and authority. Governance should not give scope for criticism that they challenge elected regimes. The IITs are overcommitted in crisis. The Indian Institute of Technology are globally recognized as the crown jewels in India's higher education system. Indeed, they are often the only Indian higher education institutions known internationally at all. They have produced leaders in high tech and related fields in India and abroad. The IITs may be the most difficult higher education institutions to gain entry in the world, with more than a million students appearing for the entrance examination each year and competing for 17,384 places in the 23 IITs. Yet, the IIT system is in serious trouble at the same time that some of them are building campuses abroad as part of India's soft power efforts. It is worth taking a careful look at current realities to understand a looming crisis. Foreign Adventures, a branch campus of IIT Madras, has just opened in Zanzibar, and IIT Delhi will be launching programs from IIT Abu Dhabi campus in 2024. The tiny post-entering class of 70 students has been accepted. How many of the faculty are from the Chennai campus, and will they stay in Zanzibar? Frequently a problem for branch campuses of Western universities. The admission standards are not like those at home. Admission is based on the IIT Madras Zanzibar selection test, 2023 screening test followed by an interview. Some of the screening test centers are offered to potential applicants who are located not only in Tanzania but also in Ethiopia, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and the United Arab Emirates has a strong presence of the Indian diaspora. Initially, the Zanzibar campus is offering only two programs: a Bachelor of Degree (BS) in Data Science and Artificial Intelligence and MTech in Data Science and Artificial Intelligence. They are open to students from across the globe. The annual tuition fees is at 12,000 for the BS program and 4,000 for the MTech program, and has noted only 70 students have signed up. Reports say that the rules and regulations of the IITM Zanzibar campus will be based on the existing norms of IIT Madras. Apparently, the campus is under innovation are their appropriate laboratories, access to IT and related amenities. In other words, as IIT Madras jumped into the international arena too soon, or should it be jumping at all? What are its motivations for this adventure? What is the purpose of this enterprise? To earn funds for the home campus, to expand India's soft power, and quite important, who is investing the significant sums required to stand up a branch campus. And of course, this and the other Indian overseas supports must be of high quality. or expansion at home. The first IIT was established in 1950 at Kagpur in West Bengal, with four more following in a decade. Most of these are partnered with top foreign technological universities in the United Nations states, the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and Germany to get started, and they quickly achieved both excellence and the top reputations. They hired Indian trained at the best foreign universities who were eager to contribute to national development. But these were small institutions. The total student enrollment was about 20,000 in the original six IITs. After 2015, the government expanded the IIT system, adding seven institutions in the following decade, most located away from major metropolitan centers. These new IITs have struggled to meet the highest standards of the traditional institutions. Some were created by upgrading existing institutions such as the Indian School of Mines Dhanbad, while others were greenfield startups. Top professors are often unwilling to work in isolated places, and the West students are also hesitant to enroll. In 2020 21 to 22, 361 undergraduate, 3083 postgraduate, and 1852 PhD seats were empty in the new IITs. There should not be several tiers of IITs with varying standards and levels of prestige. But the system is doing something right. Enrollment in all the 23 IITs have expanded to more than 1,20,000, with 25,237 students graduating in 2022 to 23, a clear indicator of more access and opportunity. Faculty challenges, future prospects. At the heart of any academic institutions are their professors. Attracting the best and the brightest is increasingly difficult. Salaries are dramatically below international standards. Foreign trained Indians are generally reluctant to return to uncompetitive salaries, often inferior work environments, and more academic bureaucracy, even though the IITs are less constrained than the rest of the academic system. Top Indian talent is increasingly attracted to the burgeoning IT sector. Emerging biotech and related fields are not to academy both within India and abroad. There is now a severe shortage of academics in the IT system. In 2021, out of the 10,881 of the sanctioned posts, 4,7370 were vacant. It would not be an exaggeration to say that the IITs are in crisis. So, building equality in the new IITs is a significant challenge, and in the long run of this, if this is not done, the prestige of the entire system will suffer. Maintaining faculty quality and attracting young professionals committed to the IIT idea and to India's development are both serious tasks. Expanding the ecosystem domestically may not have been a wise idea, and building overseas branch campuses is highly problematical. And one might question if overseas expansion is a good idea and any circumstances, but in the context of the domestic challenges facing the system, such expansion seems particularly ill considered. Let's go to the next page. Killed in prayer. October 29, two blasts ripped through a large congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Kalamasuri in central Kerala, killing three people and leaving scores injured. MP Praveen reports on the tragedy that was allegedly carried out by a middle-aged man, apparently disgruntled with the beliefs of the group. Since there was no security threat, there was no need to deploy security guards or seek police protection. Claim by ED attempted to tarnish my image, says Jatish Garcia. Women's quote have freer to LS police difficulties. Abia crowned on this business lunch and change maker of the year for the for role during pandemic. ED probing payment of 508 crore to Bagil. Strong quake jolts Nepal. Tremors felt in North India. Age envelops Delhi as AQI crosses 5450 mark. ED continues action in Rajasthan, holds such at 25 places. Ethics committee asked which hotels I stayed in, with whom. BJP names two more candidates in Rajasthan. Agencies used to as campaigners for BJP Congress. BJP is my home, not in the race of chief minister's post. Facing his first assembly poll in MP after switching sides, Union Minister exudes confidence that BJP will form government. He says party has a boots on the ground approach and is not controlled from Delhi. Questions that unity among state Congress leaders. Gehlot invites BJP's Raji to a debate on full guarantees. Mizoram full a show of which party case for refugees and more. BJP promises Ayodhya pilgrimage, increase in paddy procurement, price in Rachadis Goa. India will work with Sri Lanka on its debate treatment. Nirmala. Finance Minister holds talks with Sri Lankan President. They discuss cooperation in intergrid connectivity, aviation, power projects, oil exploration in town of Manna. MOU exchanged on 15 million assistance for the promotion of Buddhist ties. PM discusses West Asia situation with the UAE President. Gurkha Alliance leaders urge government to help hand one Gaza. Top court grants relief to two journalists over Adani article. 7 years on, India set to open new consulate in Seattle. Prakash Gupta, a joint secretary in the MEA, is expected to operationalize the consulate by the end of the month. Lawyers should not seek adjournment unless necessary. CJI. XC verdict compels same-sex couples to lead dishonest lives. FTX Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty of massive crypto fraud. Bhutan's both parliamentary elections set to be held in January. Iran hanging succeed 600 in 2023. IST in 8 years. Rights group. More opposition leaders held in Bangladesh as PM rejects dialogue. Israel tightens hold over Gaza City as Blinken arrives to fish for more aid. Israeli raids kill 8 Palestinians in West Bank. Unfazed by US threats, all options are on table, says Hezbollah leader. We witnessed the most disruptive post in history. All AI to replace all jobs. Elon Musk tells PM Sunak. Ethnic groups climb territory gains in Myanmar. Services lost steam in October. Competitive pressures are rising inputs costs dent activity. S&P Global India Services PMI shows still global orders surge at the second highest pace in 9 years. Inflation views dampen sentiment. Aston Martin always support Tourer DB trial in India market. TTK Healthcare Q2 net more than doubles to 16 crore. Hagawa seeks lower taxes to lift oil output. Indigo praises for high number of groundings. Hagawa seeks lower taxes to lift oil output. Sundaram Fasteners Q2 standalone profit risen by 5% to 118 crore. Raymond to acquire many precision to diversify products. Banks downgrade accounts linked to BGR Energy as NPAs. Afghanistan's win over the Dutch, the third biggest of this edition. Rahmat reaches a 500-run mark in WC. Shoaib's fine form continues. Stokes calls Shami the bowler of the World Cup. England's central contract snub was final nail in a coffin, says Billing. Rahmat Shahid was the chase after the Dutch ran out of ideas. Indian pacers Thunderbolts have left the batters bruised. India game the turning point at Trot Mujibin Allied Club. Black marketing of tickets. Kolkata police seeks a response from CAB. Jamie Hudson officially replaces Henry in New Zealand squad. Australia versus England familiar foes in a strange match. A rejuvenated Pakistan meets injury ravaged New Zealand. Can't control injuries. The 11 guys will give their best. Atu hopes it's not too late for peaking Pakistan. Win against England will be sweeter than usual. Comments. Atu hopes it's not too late for peaking Pakistan. Shivpal pulls up a surprise win. Jinnah boy sets new mark. India will expect to keep its winning run going. The only unbeaten team takes on Korea in the last four class, and a win will put the last arch in its fourth final. China meets Japan in the semi-final. Madhvadev and Rublev to play for PBG Eagles in WTA. Djokovic advances after beating Greek Spoor in Paris. Coorg Dire Wolves gets past Bengaluru Blues at sea. Undefeated for Pegula storms into semi-finals. The American dominates us proceedings by losing just 5 games against us. The Kari reaches the last four stage with heart-dropping a set. Germany knocks out defending champion India. Struggling BFC faces the bottom placed HFC. I really believe that I won. I watched the fight again, and I don't know the how I lost. People not now know that I can box. They are surprised. I am not surprised. Freaks who are needle move was very got no food for boxing. The bout between the WBC heavyweight champion and the decorated MMA fighter was dismissed by Puris, but the contest hosted by has forced many directors to take notice, opened the door for more such crossover fights in the future, and raised questions about the prevalent quality of the division. I'm not going to make any excuses. When I take nothing away from the other man, but I can say he clearly did not win based on the punch stats. I would not be surprised if Gukesh, Prog, Hachin, Nihal all become world champions. Having played against some of the greatest chess players of our time, Gelfand knows elite talent when he sees it. He talks about India's word beaters. He is playing days, the chess boom, and his favorite writers in this chart. I'm very impressed by how much respect the Indian players give to the coaches. They may have already become top level players, but they respect their coaches immensely. This is the last page, guys. Today is Saturday. Every Saturday there is no text and context page. So read just for next 2 hours to make you better in communication. Just every day, just practice 2 hours reading, so it will make you really wonderful in English communication. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading. Please share with your friends if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And see you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care, and leave the comment in the comment box if you have any doubts or comments. Jai Anjaneya Namaha.